All right, welcome into the Fitness Fanatics here Sunday morning. I am Jeff Hessing. I have my wife Nicole here. How are you doing, honey?
Fine. We need to not open the show that way.
Oh, okay.
We know how we are. We've been together all morning. We know how we are. We
So
gotta
we're good.
come up with something different. Yeah.
Well, yesterday the Fitness Fanatics turned into Sports Fanatics, and we went out to the Husker spring game. I mean, this is a sports station too, so we got to throw a little sports in there also. So we took our son out to the spring game yesterday. Any initial thoughts on how the Huskers looked? Are we ready to go to the Rose Bowl?
I mean, that first punt was pretty exciting.
Oh, I'll tell you what. If you were not at the spring game, things started off kind of a little slow, but if you watch Nebraska football, and last year we had some issues with special teams, and when our new punter came out and he hit a 63-yard punt, you would have thought that we just won the Big Ten championship. I mean, it was just an eruption. It was pretty cool. And there was about, I think, like 56,000 people that came out to that. So 57,000. So for a practice, that was pretty cool. I think the Iowa spring game, I don't even think they had one. So they might have had 10 people come out to watch. So
I don't know. I didn't really go. We weren't going to go. Like even Friday, we weren't going to go. And then Friday night, I was like, I kind of want to go. And honestly, for me, it's just being down in the atmosphere, like walking to the stadium, seeing the people, having the band out there playing. That was exciting. That was fun for me.
Well, and now that we're, big radio hosts on a sports station, we feel obligated that we needed to go in case, somebody asked our opinion. So sure. We were down. We have season tickets. We normally sit in row 81, which our seats are fantastic. We have so much leg room. We can kick our legs out straight out, and it's just amazing. So we got a little closer this time. We were in row 41, about the same section, and we're spoiled with our seats. I mean, it's great.
Yeah.
So
they're high up,
but it was good. It was good to see the players and some of the recruits out there, and our son was with us, so he was checking the team out, and he goes to Lincoln East, so he was trying to spot his high school buddy Malachi Coleman. We were pretty high up though, so I don't know if we spotted him or not, but yeah. I don't know if he was out there, but
they're not buddies,
but he goes there.
Classmate. Yes.
Classmate. Yes. High school classmate. So anyway, that's what we did yesterday. After the game, we spent a little time with some more ticket celebrities, Chris Raff and AD. We hung out with them for a little bit after the game. So that was fun too.
Yeah.
Then we had a little bit. Went over to some of our members' houses. We just got done with the Fit Challenge, and they kind of had an end of challenge celebration. So that was fun. So that's how we spent our Saturday. It was a pretty full.
It was very full for us.
Yes. Quick story
time.
Real quick about us. I know you guys really care about us. So.
Well, a lot of people liked your story time last week, it sounds like. So
my sports prowess of going to the wherever I went.
The football camp
as a 140 pound senior that never played a down of football. 135, okay. Yeah. Give or take a few pounds. So Nicole and I, for those who don't know, we've been married for almost 24 years, been together for over 25 years. So I remember our first date, not because of the great impression she made on me or I made on her.
Rude.
But our first date was December 7th, 1996. Now, the reason, if you're a diehard Husker fan like me, that might not, I mean, you might know what happened on that date, but Nebraska was playing Texas in the 1996 Big 12 championship game, and we were 21-point favorites, and we lost. So that was during the afternoon. So then, and back then when Nebraska lost, it was just, everybody was devastated. We're just kind of used to it, but back then it was a huge deal. So Texas had Ricky Williams, Priest Holmes, just ridiculous team. And I think the Nebraska team had a little food poisoning issue back then. So a lot of the team was sick, and Scott Frost was the quarterback. So I watched Nebraska lose to Texas for the first time that afternoon. And then that evening, Nicole and I went on our first date. And the very first thing that I told her when we started to drive in the car was,
My team lost today.
Nebraska lost. And so, fortunately, the evening kind of made up for it, and here we are 25
Well, and
years
remember,
later.
we lived in Iowa, and my family was always Iowa fans, but they were more Iowa basketball. I don't really have a lot of memories of like my dad watching football or getting into it or anything, but I have lots of memories at my grandparents' house watching basketball. So it was big Iowa basketball. I was not a college football fan at all. So like I really had no idea. I didn't even know who Nebraska was. Like I didn't know what
So she didn't even care.
I was like,
She's just, well, okay.
Okay.
It's
It
a
was
it's a football game, right? What's the big deal? So she got kind of spoiled. She says I bait and switched her in the fact that, Nebraska lost to Texas on that day, and then we started to date, and then they didn't lose a game for the next year.
Yeah.
So they won the national championship in '97, and she's like, "Wow, this is pretty awesome being a Husker fan."
Mm-hmm.
And here we are, and it's still awesome being a Husker fan. But when you start off watching Nebraska and they win 14 straight games, you're just like, "Wow, man, I'm spoiled here." So anyway, that's a little fun story about us.
Yep.
So yesterday, we also started something pretty cool. We started our 10-week challenge.
Mm-hmm.
We had our orientation out at the gym at 9:15. We have about 50 new members that are starting the 10-week challenge, and this is we're almost 9 years as owners, and which would be 9 times 4, which is 36. So this is that my math right?
Don't ask me. I'm horrible.
Pretty sure.
So math.
This is our 36th 10-week challenge over the last 9 years. So 9 times 4, yeah, 36. I'm just correcting myself. 36 10-week challenge.
I believe you.
One of my favorite days of the 10-week challenge is orientation day, because everybody's starting new. Everybody has reasons why they started, and everybody can see themselves 10 weeks down the road. Like, man, if I can just do this is what I'm going to feel like. And, you're nervous when you get to the orientation, and then you get to see, because before that point, you really don't know who all is doing the 10-week challenge. By this point, you've been into the gym, you've had your picture taken, in your underwear, and you're just like, oh, okay, this is great. Here I am. And so you've met Nicole at this point, but you really don't know who else you're going to be doing the 10 weeks with. So Saturday, when you come in, you got to meet all your teammates, and you come in there and you think, wow, everybody's like me.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's nervous and excited at the same time, because it's something new that they're starting, and
a lot more nervous, I would imagine.
Yeah, more nervous than excited. Yes. Yeah. But it's something new that they're starting, and great thing when you start with the 10 weeks is that everybody's starting together. So yes, you're nervous, but everybody else is nervous as well. So as we're, talking about what to expect and those types of things, nutrition, the kickboxing, strength training part of it, I wonder really how much people remember after we talk to them for an hour and a half.
I think 25% retention is what I think.
Yeah, at first everybody's excited, like very attentive. And then, Aaron Davis spoke at our orientation. For those who don't know who that is, he is a former Nebraska football player, also co-host on one of the ticket shows, Riffin' with Raph and AD. So we're very blessed to have Aaron Davis be a part of our gym.
He's a real life motivational speaker too.
Yeah, real life motivational speaker. Always has the right thing to say right when you need to hear it. Mm-hmm. So he always does a fantastic job for us. And I think after he speaks and everybody's fired up, I think that's when they start to forget what we're telling them. Probably. So, but it's really exciting. I said 36 10-week challenge that we've done, and it never gets old. No. Like I couldn't imagine just running a gym where, people can just start any day that they want. Mm-hmm. Now we do let people start. People can start at really any given time, but that's not the Farrell's business model. Farrell's business model over 20 years is to best time to start is with the 10-week challenge. So you're starting with people that don't know what they're doing, and you all kind of grow together. So it never gets old for us. We get to see amazing transformations every 10 weeks. And then we have a couple week break, and then it all starts over again, where we get to meet new people that have new aspirations and new goals and new challenges for us. So it's really, really cool. Nicole, do you have anything to add about just kind of how orientation went yesterday, or maybe if anybody's out there thinking, oh, little, maybe you could still want to join and you're a little on the edge. So I'll let you. I've been talking for a while.
I don't know what.
You have nothing to say?
No, I mean, yeah, it's always really fun. My favorite part of the whole 10-week program is at the end, actually, after we take the after pictures. And when we're looking at the before and after pictures, it's not, for me, my favorite part is not the changes in necessarily people's bodies, which is impressive, but it's the change in, I'm there, I take all the pictures, so I know. So it's the change in demeanor, it's the change in the looks on people's faces. I mean, we have some people that, I mean, they just look 15 years younger by the end of the session, and it's not necessarily because they lost a ton of weight. It's just because they're healthier and they feel better and they're standing a little bit taller. And so that's personally my favorite part of the 10-week challenge, is at the end, seeing those
and mine's
changes.
The beginning.
Yeah,
that's why everything we do is totally opposite.
We do everything opposite.
Yeah, the way we drive from the Pioneers gym to the Yankee Ridge gym, we drive different ways.
Everything we do is opposite.
And hers is always the right way to do things.
That's not true.
Right?
Well,
see,
I thought you meant the driving, but
everything,
almost everything,
almost
else.
Everything.
Right? Yeah.
So, coming up at 10, before we get to our other not guest, but that's in here with us. Coming up at 10 a.m. is one of our members from the Yankee Ridge Gym, Mike Price, and he's going to be in studio with us. We're going to talk a little bit about his story, which is pretty awesome. I won't give away all the details, but he has a pretty amazing weight loss journey and story to tell. So we're going to dive into that here coming up at the 10 o'clock hour. But we have a lot of time before then. So if you're watching on the stream, you can see we have a third person in the room with us, and that is the station manager, I believe, like our boss, kind of, right? That's what we say. Oh, our boss is doing the 10-week challenge.
Sounds good to me.
Right.
I like the title.
So Mark Onweiler is doing the 10-week challenge, and we have a pretty cool opportunity over the next 10 weeks to document his journey. So he has the ultimate accountability.
Yep.
So what we don't want is by week 6, Mark is not in here because he doesn't do barrels anymore and he doesn't want to see us.
Hey, I'm gonna need someone to fill in again. I can't look him in the eye. No, that's honestly that's why, like, when I was thinking about what's gonna motivate me and hold me accountable like that, this was about the only thing I could come up with. It's not gonna be the money, which
right. Yeah.
Money's not a motivator.
It's really not.
No.
Like once it's gone, it's gone.
Right.
So I can pay the cost up front.
Yeah.
And then I can justify it to myself. I've done it before.
Right.
I do it monthly with my gym membership, right?
Yeah. Right.
Like I paid it for years. I haven't gone to the gym in that time. I'm just throwing money away.
Right.
That's not the motivator. But having to come here and sit in front of you two, but also sit in front of this microphone, which just doesn't lie, right?
Yeah.
Like I can't pretend here. That I thought that's gonna work. That's gonna get me to go for 10 weeks. So I'm really looking forward to this. I am scared, which Jeff, apparently you love, but I am scared.
Well, I don't know if I love it.
Am I twisting your words a little bit? That's fine.
I love scaring people.
I said nervous.
Yeah.
nervous, and it's
sure.
It's okay to be scared. I mean, one of the great things about Farrell's and the how it's ran with the 10-week challenge is that everybody that you see, so come Monday, your instructor is Crystal. She's been at Farrell's for probably 7 years,
probably longer,
maybe longer than that. Awesome instructor. So
was she the one at my station?
She was not.
She
there.
was not. Okay.
She wasn't there.
Whoever that was, by the way, I don't know if you know who the actress Andrea Savage is, but that person looks exactly like Andrea Savage.
Your coach, Kristen.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, she is an instructor also.
Okay.
She will, but I do not know who that
Google
is.
Andrea Savage. They are spitting images.
Right. We'll have to look it up.
So Crystal started off just like you as a 10-week member, not knowing what she was getting herself into. Like, oh, this Farrell's gym sounds cool. I'm going to go try it out. And she was nervous. She didn't know what she was doing the first day. And then when you take her class tomorrow, you'll be like, wow, she's tough.
Makes it
Like,
look easy.
makes it
and-
look easy
Right.
up there. But it wasn't easy at first for her. So that's and same with your coaches, Kristen and Lance. I mean, everybody has a different story and reason as to why they start and why they're still coming to the gym. So as this first week, and if any of our new 10-week members are listening, hopefully they are, the first week you're going to have 4 or 5 different instructors over the first 6 days of the first week. And every instructor is going to be a little different. But they all started where we started, including Nicole and I.
Yep.
I mean, I was scared when I started. Like, my gosh, 6 days a week. This is going to be, I can barely even walk for 5 minutes. How am I going to get through 45 minutes of a workout?
Yeah.
But something you'll notice during the kickboxing workouts is they go by super fast because you're not really looking at the clock. You're focusing on, what are we going to do for punching? And this first week, we really kind of break things down as this is how you do a jab. This is how you do a cross. This is how you do a hook. This is how you do an upper. And then we put them all together. And in your class, especially, I mean, I'd probably say maybe 40 people in class. So it's going to be big. The bags will be rocking. They're just going to bam, 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 which is like one of the greatest sounds to hear for me. I just love that.
Yes, me too.
In a class when everybody's just beating on those bags and kicking the bags, and you just hear bam, 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 bam for 45 minutes. And when you're done, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, that's it. It's over. I made it through. And the cool thing about group fitness, you're going to be high-fiving people when you're done.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
I forget you. I haven't heard you say this. I know what you're going to say. I haven't heard you say it in a while.
What's that? Oh, yeah. So
you guys really have been together for
I know.
15 years, 25 years.
Say, but
what's really, satisfying when you work out with other people is when you're done, you can, you're like, yes, great job. Because they're feeling the same way you do. I've ran 5 marathons, right? So when you're training for that stuff and you're out there running 20 miles for a training run, and I get done and I'm like, there's nobody there to say great job. And that feels good when somebody tells you great job. It just makes you feel better about what you just did. So after class and everybody's high-fiving you, and members that have been at Farrell's since it opened 12 years ago are coming up to you and saying, great job, way to go, you were awesome. And you're looking at the person and you're like, wow, they're in really good shape. And they're coming up to me and saying, you did awesome. And you might be thinking, oh, I can barely breathe. I don't want to say anything, but I just feel like I'm about ready to die in here. So having people tell you good job and getting that encouragement is just all part of the Farrell's culture, Farrell's family, that Lance helped start 20 years ago, and that all of our owners across the country all instill at all of their locations. So we all started our 10-week challenge yesterday, all 56 locations. Most of the locations. So, there's probably collectively, let's see, you got 56 locations. Even if there's 50 people per gym, that's, 2,500 to 3,000 people that just started Farrell's yesterday.
Yeah.
All doing the same thing. Doing their push-ups, doing their sit-ups, getting their picture taken.
Let's talk about, I want Mark to talk about that. Do we have a word counter on this show? Because I'm interested to see how many words Jeff says.
We can sign up for a transcription service. And,
I'll look over. It's like 5,000 for Jeff and two for Nicole.
You say things that are great.
See,
but
I ask you. I know,
but now we're.
I was really impressed, by the way, that you crushed 50 times 50, 50 times 56, just like that.
Right.
But 9 times 4.
Yeah.
Do you know the finger method for multiplying by 9?
By 9. Well, no, 9s are pretty easy. Well, typically.
Can I teach you this?
Yeah. Okay. So I got.
There's no way I'll remember it.
It's 9 times 4, right?
Yes.
So you go 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold that one down. 36.
Oh.
Well, there you go. Yep.
That's cool.
9 times 2, 1, 2, 18. 1, 8. Works all the way up till 10.
Okay.
That's all the fingers you have.
That's
All right, great. So anyway, Mark, how was orientation for you? We've done it 34 times or
Yeah.
whatever, but
36.
36. I see I've already forgot it, but how was one for you?
It was interesting, and I had to leave halfway through to come here and do some stuff at the radio station. So I stuck around for Aaron Davis, and then I figured, Nicole's talking.
Yep.
I'm out of here.
Let's leave on a high note. Let's leave on a high note.
No, but
Yeah.
I caught
Yeah,
the
yeah,
rest of it on the live stream, so I'm caught up. It was good. It was good to walk in and see people that looked like me, see people that didn't look like me, a full spectrum of folks, and that's even just in my little corner, in my 5 a.m. class. There's a full spectrum of people joining the program that I will be working out with. So that was, to me, that was very comforting to know that I'm somewhere on the spectrum. I'm not off on the end by myself. I'm not an outlier. I'm part of it. And then you guys mentioned that our theme for this is trust the process,
right?
Which I've never been a big like catchphrase or motivational saying kind of guy. But then AD started going in on it. And not to say he did it better than you, but he is a professional speaker.
He did do it better.
He is a
than us.
professional speaker.
That's why we bring him.
Yeah. And there was something about him talking about, defining the word process and how it's not excellent, it's not perfect, it's not any of those things. It's just consistent over and over again. It's almost like water eroding a rock, right? Like it just keep doing it, and sooner or later you've developed a canyon. Like it just, you don't even realize it's happening. It just, by continuing to do it, it just happens. And that struck a chord, because I'm your classic roller coaster dieter kind of guy, right? Something happens and you fall off and you don't get back on. So it's just that idea of just keep doing it, just keep showing up, even if you're not 100% there that day, even if you can't give 100% effort, whatever it is, just keep going. And like that really resonated for me. Awesome. And so that's, to me, that trust the process mantra. I'm trying to take that to heart. We haven't even started yet.
Yeah.
And it's all a mind game, right? Like for me anyway, it's definitely, it's 95% psychological. Even before I haven't gone to a workout yet, and I'm already coming up with excuses why it won't work or why it's going to be hard.
It's just human nature.
Exactly. Those little demons. So for me, trying hard to say, nope, just, there are 2,500 people across the country doing this exact same thing that I'm doing at this exact same moment that I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Trust the process.
And I think after you left is when I said my classic quote of you're not special, right?
Which hurt.
Right.
It hurt.
No,
I wasn't even in
didn't.
the room and it hurt.
Quit it. I know. That's my way of saying you're not alone. You're not special. You are just like everybody else that has tried and failed, or maybe not tried, or maybe was a college athlete and then life got in the way. So when I say that, that's obviously what I mean. You're not special, but that's because you're not alone. So that's good to see.
You talk about the roller coaster. I'm on the roller coaster every minute.
Sure.
We leave the gym and every single day I'm just like, oh, should I stop and get this? Should I get a donut, or should I go home and have my cottage cheese and apple? Right. So
it's probably good that the Runza right there by the Yankee Hill location doesn't serve breakfast, because but I'm gonna have to drive right by 4 other places that do on the way home. So
there's some places you can get breakfast, but if you've planned it into your day, but
it's and we're going to talk goals here in the next segment, which is kind of our theme. Every week during the 10-week challenge, we have a different theme, and week 1 is goals. So we'll talk a little bit about the nutrition part of it also, and one little simple goal for the first week could be like, hey, I'm going to plan out my day 1 food. So if you have something planned and something at home waiting for you that when I get home I'm going to be eating this for breakfast, then yes, you might drive by a McDonald's and be like, oh, McGriddle's so good. But when you leave the gym, you're going to be like, you're going to be really tired, and you're just going to put yourself through a really difficult workout since it's, your first one. And you there's part of you that's going to be like, I don't really want to ruin this, so the more you're fueling your body with good carbohydrates, good protein, good fat, the better you're going to feel come Tuesday. Where if you just kind of mess it up the first day, because you're going to look at yourself now over the next 10 weeks as an athlete. Okay. So you're going to be fueling your body like you're an athlete.
Yes.
You're going to be wanting to recover. You're going to be tearing down your muscles. You're going to want to build those muscles back up. So that's what the nutrition part of it is. So if you just drank pop and ate chips for 10 weeks and you worked out every day for 10 weeks, you're going to get stronger, obviously, but you're not going to see the changes in the way you look and feel without the nutrition component of it.
Yep.
So we're going to hit on goals. If you have any questions for us or even for Mark or any just comments you want to throw at him, if you're listening, you can reach us on the Starter Heyman text line at 402-464-5685. Or if you have any questions you want to call in and chat with us, you can reach us. Honda of Lincoln hotline, 402-464-5685. We are the Fitness Fanatics, and next segment, we're going to talk goals, and it'll mainly be Nicole.
We'll see.
We'll be right back.
Are you sick of mindlessly running on a treadmill or the lack of motivation to consistently work out? Whatever your challenge, Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping can help. Whether you want to lose weight, boost energy, or simply improve your overall health, you'll fit right in at Farrell's regardless of age or abilities. Build endurance with their kickboxing and strength training group fitness classes while also getting nutrition coaching. Try Farrell's now for a free week. Visit fxblincoln.com or call Jeff at 402-310-4026. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping.
Mike Schaefer here for Trek CBD. Springtime is here, and that means you're outside more in nice weather and maybe even having garage parties with neighbors. The drink of this spring and summer isn't your typical seltzer. It's drinkable Delta 8. Yep, Trek CBD has drinkable Delta 8 seltzers with mango and lime flavors for 4-packs and 12-packs, coming in a variety of mango, watermelon, lime, and berry. They also have hemp-derived Delta 9 syrups to put in your beverages, and as always, the excellent Delta 8 gummies. Trek CBD, CBD done right.
In today's day and age, people are trying to do more and more projects by themselves. That might be better on the wallet, but it can also lead to painful sounds like this. Ow! Poor guy, trying to do wiring all by himself. Let's have another listen. It's just not worth it. Don't hurt yourself or make things worse than they are already. For any of your electric needs, call Joe at Ambition Electric today at 402-217-3415 or go to ambitionelectric.com.
Allo knows businesses need reliable communication, both at the office and at home. Now more than ever. Just listen to Bill Mitchner from Lighthouse.
Before we'd have breaks in service, especially for internet, but we've never had any issues with Allo. It's always been there and available when we needed it.
At Allo, supporting your business is our business. To get your free quote and switch today, visit allofiber.com/workfast or call 402-480-6685 today.
Southeast Community College is training tomorrow's workforce today with our nearly 60 career and technical programs. We are doing our part to help employers fill vacancies during this current labor shortage, graduating students with skill sets employers are seeking. We're also helping to upskill the workforce by adding short-term credentials like certificates in many programs so that employees can get retraining quickly. Learn more about upskilling with SCC at southeast.edu/academics. SCC, your path to possible.
Hey, sports fans, Rico here with HIS Auto Care 70th and Van Dorn. Carfax recently awarded us as a top-rated auto service center for 2020, and Lincoln Choice Awards voted us as the 2021 top independent auto repair center. Call us at 402-488-8934 for superior service bumper to bumper. Mention this ad and get 7% off. Doesn't get any better than that. Rico for his Auto Care 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Today on Hey Culligan, why does your team stink? Here's Coach Waters.
Hey Culligan, yeah, my team stinks.
Ooh, harsh.
No, I mean they stink. They won't hit the showers because it makes their skin all dry and itchy.
Coach, it sounds like your guys have been hit hard by hard water.
You kidding me? Hard water?
Yep, so let's call an audible in the form of one Culligan Smart High-Efficiency Water Softener to get the smooth back in their skin and the stink out of your team.
Okay, Culligan, I'm putting you in.
Coach, we're already on the way. Go to CulliganLincoln.com and schedule your free water test today.
From selling a home to even building one, you're doing a lot and need a lender who can help you do it. Like Lisa Workman of Security First Bank.
Mortgage lending is my true passion. As the director of mortgage lending, I work to ensure you receive exceptional customer service.
Mortgage lending from Security First Bank. We're the bank. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender. NMLS 505011 and 616196.
Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right. Well, welcome back to the Fitness Fanatics. First half hour, we were talking a little bit of the 10-week challenge with Mark. He just started his orientation yesterday. We have a couple comments here on the Facebook I just wanted to read. One's from Nicole from Texas. She owns a Farrell's location in Dallas. Where is her location? It's in Texas somewhere.
Yeah.
So she had commented, can't wait to see your progress, Mark. This is going to change your life. And that's from another Farrell's owner way down in Texas.
Well, that's great. Like you talk about the community and the family aspect of it, but it's nice to see how big that actually reaches.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
Beyond just
Yep.
the 40 people that'll
Right.
be there with me
Right.
at 5 a.m. It's bigger than that. I love that.
Yeah.
It is.
Yep.
And a couple more comments. Karen from Altoona said she loves Crystal's classes.
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't love Crystal's
I know.
classes? Hopefully Crystal's listening
Yeah.
so she could feel a little love.
Yep.
She's one that she is the lead athletic trainer at Lincoln Southwest. And we're going to get her in here hopefully in the next few weeks to talk about that job that she does. Okay. So my word counter is rapidly spinning. I'm up to about 10,000 words. Well, you we come back and you're like, all right, do the intro. So then I just off I
That was
go.
a long intro.
Okay, so we're gonna talk goals. That is the theme for week 1. I'm gonna turn it over to the brains of the operation, Nicole Essing.
Okay.
The show's yours.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sit back and listen.
All right. We'll see. We're going to talk about goals. So
Now he's just not going to talk. Like he's
No.
aggressively going to be quiet.
I don't think he can still not do that though. Yeah. So we'll see. That's okay. So we're going to talk about goals. So like Jeff said, we have themes every single week in the session. And so week 1 is goals. And so yesterday at orientation, we had everyone write a goal or a couple. You wrote 3 on yours. Good job, overachiever.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
On a note card, and we posted that. So we have a whiteboard up. Trust the process is the theme of this session. And so we wrote that on a whiteboard and we've posted all of those goals on there. So when you come in, you'll be able to see your goal. You'll be able to see other people's goals. Again, you'll find out I'm not really not that special because other people have the same goals as me. You know, you're not alone. But so what were your goals and where did you kind of come up with those?
So like you said, I wrote 3.
Yeah.
I
know that because I hung them up today.
Yeah. Because you memorized mine, and I appreciate that. Yeah.
I'll tell you why, but
I'm your favorite
yours.
student.
Right.
Okay. So the first one was kind of like I was talking about in the last segment. Just show up. Don't take days off. Just continue to be there. It's right along with that trust the process. But again, I'm so good at justifying reasons why I can't that I need to get past that obstacle. That's going to be the biggest thing for me. So that's just to prove to myself that for 10 weeks I can stick with it and just keep doing it. So that was my number 1 goal, was just keep doing it. Number 2 for me, I think, was to fit into clothes better, which is a broad thing. But
That's a good goal, though.
You know,
I mean,
and I've certainly noticed over the last 2 years where, the beer gut gets bigger, right? Like, and I'm getting older and fat is redistributing across my body, right? So all of a sudden clothes seem to fit until I get down to that 5th button. I go, oh, well, nope. Okay.
Right.
All right. Guess I got to find something else in the next 5 minutes to wear to this event tonight.
Yeah.
So little things like that. I'd like to be able to take something out of the closet and just know, that's going to fit. And then my last one was to get less winded just through everyday events. And I mean, it's the little things like walking upstairs.
Yes.
If I'm on the main floor and I need something up there, not having to think, is it worth it?
Right.
Do I need my wallet to go to the store?
Right.
Or can I figure out this whole Google Pay thing? Let's flip a coin.
Right.
So it's little things like that. It's also like if I want to go to Colorado and go on a hike, to not be the one saying, no, go on without me.
Yeah.
Right. Like
Yes.
to not be that anchor of the group in a negative way, not like,
Right.
I think I am the anchor of many groups, but to not be the one holding folks back, or that where they have to compromise because of me. So those were my 3 goals that I laid out.
Those are good goals. When I first looked at it, when you're one that said to not get winded, or to, what was it exactly? Do you remember?
I think get less winded.
Get less winded. I thought it said get less weird at first, but I was like, well, why do we want that?
Lost cause.
I know
Lost
we want
cause.
more weird, not less weird. So I'm only going to see that every time I look at your card.
Okay,
But
okay.
no,
That's fair.
Yeah, no, but those are really good goals. And like talking about the clothing one, that's a huge goal. That can help you stay off the scale or stop obsessing over that number that doesn't matter. So like that's one of the things that I recommend for people is like have a goal shirt or a goal. One of our friends, Craig, that did Farrell's in Altoona for years and years and years, he's an instructor. I remember his 10-week challenge when it ended and we had our party. He was super excited because he was wearing a shirt that he hadn't worn, and you knew he hadn't worn it because it had those little pokey marks
from the hanger.
Yeah, from the hanger. And so like I still remember that. That was probably like, I don't know, 9 or I don't even
longer than that.
We weren't even the owners then. I was probably his coach. I was his
13,
coach.
14.
Yeah, I was his coach at the time. So that's a huge goal. If you can just find a shirt or a pair of pants and every week try it on and use that as your guide, that's like what we call non-scale victories. Those are huge. That's going to keep you motivated. I'm not there yet, but getting closer. And that is what's important about goals. Setting those goals is super important, but what's more important than goals is habits and setting up those habits to help you reach those goals. So that's where like it's going to be super important for you to set up a habit in the morning, every single morning. Have, whether it's get your stuff ready the night before so you don't have to think about it. Some of our members, I think, sleep in their workout clothes and just roll out of bed and come in. Right. So perfectly fine. We can't do that because we have 4 animals in our house and they'd be covered in animal hair if we did that. But so yeah, those are really good. Those are really good goals. And I'm excited to see kind of what.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Me too. Yeah.
Where you go.
You mentioned the non-scale victories, and anytime in the past where I've had success, I've done daily weigh-ins.
Yeah.
And I know, I don't know
it can be a good tool. But for some people it's not.
Yeah.
Some people it's not.
And then I that's what I thought I needed.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it falls in line with all the nutrition stuff you talked about, where I was making progress in that way, but I don't think I was making real sustainable progress. So I think it was false.
It brings it in so close. Like you're not thinking long term if you're weighing yourself every single day and you're making decisions based on what a number says that you weighed yourself in the morning. Like, okay, it can really sabotage a lot of people. Some people like it if you're a huge numbers person and you can detach yourself from that number and you can learn a lot of stuff about yourself. But most of us are too emotionally attached to that number to do it. So we recommend that people do not weigh themselves because we will see. I mean, I can already tell you what's going to happen. Even if you don't weigh yourself, what's going to happen is you're probably going to drop a good, 5-6 pounds this week. It's water weight because you're sweating every single day, and then, and you're super sore. You're drinking lots of water. And then, that'll taper off a little bit. And this is not weight loss. This is not Farrell's extreme weight loss. It's body shaping. We want to focus on building muscle, losing body fat. So that's where I do not recommend that people weigh themselves every day. I know Jeff doesn't either. He's not going to say anything, but
look at the glare.
Well,
so hard.
Go ahead.
There's some people when they start that need to lose weight, right?
Yeah.
So
there's nothing wrong with having weight loss as a goal.
Right.
You got to detach yourself from it.
Now, if we have a lady that starts that weighs 120 pounds and they're obsessed with the scale,
right?
That's like, okay, you probably need to gain a few pounds.
Yeah.
It's telling somebody that is kind of like,
yeah,
what are you talking about? But everybody's different. And I think like what we talked about last week is you can really do whatever your reason for starting is, whether, you need to lose weight because you're on high blood pressure medication and the doctor said, hey, you need to lose 30, 40 pounds. that's something we can help you with. If you need to build muscle, which we have people that are under muscle mass.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We can help you get there too. So whatever your goal is, we can help you get to it. It's just, it's just the nutrition and how you're eating to get to those goals. And with the goal too, whether you're doing ferals or not, writing the goals down, AD was saying, that's the easy part. It takes 5 seconds, 10 seconds to write them down. But one of the powerful reasons to write them down is if you just write it down and throw it away, it's not very powerful. But if you write it down and you hang it on your bathroom mirror, on your bedroom, or your headboard in your bedroom, if you hang it on the fridge, like where you go in
your dashboard, if you're tempted to go to McDonald's
or your
for breakfast
dashboard,
sandwiches,
right.
Jeffrey.
Wait a minute, why'd you bring me up?
Because that's what you do.
She's just talking to you. I mean, it's just you're having a conversation.
Sometimes.
Yeah, your dashboard is really good though, because we all know when the temptation is there.
Right. Yes.
And you're like, oh, and I just need, and then we start to justify like, oh, I can eat this breakfast sandwich and this Starbucks coffee or wherever it's from, I'm kids because I worked out and I burned all these calories. So, but what we talked about the goal is all your decisions and your habits. Is this habit I'm creating or this decision I'm making right now, does it get me closer to my goal or farther away from your goal?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And we're all going to make bad decisions.
Sometimes you make that farther away and you're okay with it. And that's okay too. Like sometimes you're like, okay, I know this isn't the best choice for me, but this is what I'm doing right now. But then at the same time, if you're weighing yourself daily and the next day you weigh yourself, and then we tend to beat ourselves up. Like, okay, but we knew that what we were doing wasn't going to get us closer. So like accept it and move forward.
Or if you eat something bad and you drop a pound, then you're like, what?
That's
maybe
where
I
that
found
gets
the
dangerous
secret
for me.
to weight loss.
It doesn't matter.
This is amazing. Yes.
That's honestly when it gets dangerous for me, if I'm weighing myself too much and I'm like, oh, okay. So I always tell people when I get on the scale, I always know close to what I'm gonna weigh just by how I feel.
Sure.
But sometimes you're just like, I'm just curious. And when I get on the scale and it gives me a number that I'm not expecting, it's higher than I expected. It always reminds me of Liar Liar when Jim Carrey's like, why is this happening to me? And he goes, I'm getting what I deserve. I'm reaping what I sow.
Yeah.
I think that scene every time I weigh myself and the number is just not quite where I want it to be or what, but I just think that every time. It makes me laugh because that's true. And it's when I've not been eating the best and I get on and I'm still seeing progress that I do tend to start self-sabotaging a little bit. Like, I can get away with that.
Yeah,
I got away with it.
Because the scale works in mysterious ways.
Yes.
Right. So like, I know for me personally, like if I get off track, because what's happening is what the goal behind ferals is, we're building muscle, burning fat. So that ultimately is going to lead to weight loss. Eventually you're just kind of doing it a little bit different way and not
the long game.
Right. So when I fall off the wagon, which we do a lot. We're just normal people.
It's life.
It's a cool thing about us is we're like everyday people.
Yep.
We struggle with food every single day, making the right choice.
So one of us
more than others.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But the thought comes in my head every day, should I go get something that's bad for me? So we have those struggles just like all of our new members and all of our current members have. We all struggle with food. So what I was going to say is like, I could get to a certain weight and body fat percentage and feel good. And then if I start to slip off and I'm eating something bad, but my weight's not changing, man, I'm feeling good. But what's happening is when you're really focused on your nutrition and your weight's not going down, you're losing body fat, you're building muscle, but the number on the scale isn't changing. So you get frustrated. The scale can have the opposite effect when you start to eat bad because the scale's not going up. So then you can justify a little more. Oh, this is okay.
Right.
But what happens for me is like my body's starting to lose muscle and gain fat,
Mhm.
and the number on the scale isn't going up.
Yeah.
So in my mind,
Yep.
I can justify doing these things. But then I always, when I call it the point of no return, there's a point where, okay, now my body's done exhausting all of its muscle loss, fat gain, and now the number's just going up. And then
Yeah.
it's like, oh my gosh, I need to do something,
Yeah.
And there's moments when I wake up and I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like just, bleh.
Yeah.
But then I think, man, I used to be 49% body fat.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I can't even remember. I don't even know what that would be like now, feeling that way.
Yeah. It's all about perspective.
All
Keeping
about perspective. Yes. All about perspective.
Yeah.
So we all tend to focus on the negative of what's going on. So we're going to try to instill in our 10-week members over the next 10 weeks, and hopefully you that are listening, to focus on the positives. Because when we focus on the positive, more positive things happen. We focus on the negative, it just seems like that's just all that happens is negative things. So
Yep.
Farrell's isn't just a body transformation, it's a mind transformation, life transformation. So hopefully that's something that you'll see going through the 10-week challenge. So I think are we up against the break?
Yes,
so
sir.
when we come back, we're going to talk to Mark about what to expect Monday morning and this week 1.
Okay.
We'll be right back. Jeff and Nicole Essing, Fitness Fanatics.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
I have a proposal. You do not have to buy me a cap if we find the fight song I'm talking about and you hum it into the microphone.
What if I don't know how it goes?
Well, we'll find it.
Yeah, that's it.
Good job, you found it.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning.
Hi, welcome to Big Chain Bar and Grill. Can I get you a drink? Which game were you hoping to see? Doesn't matter. I don't know what channel the game's on anyway. Are you ready to order? Okay, here's a check. Come back and see us again, okay?
What?
Hey, welcome back into Upside.
Slow down and enjoy the game at the Upside Bar and Lounge. Comfortable seating, plenty of screens, a great food and drink menu, and no one trying to shove you out the door. Come in, hang out, and take it all in at the Upside Bar and Lounge, open daily just east of 27th and Pine Lake.
From selling a home to even building one, you're doing a lot and need a lender who can help you do it. Like Lisa Workman of Security First Bank.
Mortgage lending is my true passion. As a director of mortgage lending, I work to ensure you receive exceptional customer service.
Mortgage lending from Security First Bank. We're the bank. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender. NMLS 505011 and 616196.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, and it's been a great start here to the year as 2022 new inventory continues to roll in. Our pre-owned lot remains full, and we are selling at a record pace. I was just down at Coppell talking about a new order for myself, and they let me know I can actually start ordering a 2023 here later this spring. So stop on in to get your new 2022, your pre-owned vehicle, or maybe talk about ordering here for 2023. Check them out online at coppellcars.com. You'll be glad you did.
You can search online for hours to find the best electricians in Lincoln and the surrounding area, but I'll save you time. High Electric has been serving their customers for 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They're experts in everything electrical, from remodeling to new additions, hot tub installations, electric vehicle chargers or EV chargers, lighting, ceiling fans, and more. High Electric takes jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at highelectric.com.
There's not many things worse than having plumbing issues at your home or business, but it's even worse if the problem isn't fixed correctly. Select Plumbing gets it right the first time, and they specialize in several things: general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. Plus, they're hiring service plumbers. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Join us at Cactus by Venue for our new America's Favorites menu. We're keeping your favorite dips and tacos and adding brand new dishes, including delicious steaks, burgers, pastas, and more. Focusing on vibrant casual dining using a blend of fresh ingredients prepared from scratch. Located at 56 and Highway 2 in the Edgewood Shopping Center, see the whole menu online at cactusbyvenue.com and order yours to go at venuedelivered.com. Cactus by Venue, America's favorites.
These days, there are more reasons than ever to treat yourself to a great haircut at Great Clips with the online check-in app. So tell us, why do you check in?
I check in because I'm tired of hat hair. I check in because we all need a cut.
I check in so I can feel like me.
And I check in so I look good for you.
No matter why you check in, you'll check out with a great haircut and save time with our online check-in app. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, we are back here, Fitness Fanatics, Jeff and Nicole Essink with Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping. We have 2 locations here in Lincoln, Nebraska, and we also basically have an infinite location anywhere in the country. We have a complete virtual program. One of my best friends does this up in Mount Vernon, Washington, which is way Pacific Northwest.
You started your first 10 weeks with Mike.
Yep.
Yeah.
My buddy Michael P. did my original 10 weeks with me at the Urbandale gym way back in 2006. Yep. So 16 years ago is when I did my original 10-week challenge with him. And he lives up in Washington now. And when we started our virtual program a couple of years ago, he was one of the first ones to join in. So, and he's been a virtual member ever since. Yep. So he absolutely loves it. So before we get to our featured guest of the day, Mike Price from our Yankee Ridge location, we're going to talk to Mark. I'm going to let Nicole talk to Mark a little bit about what to expect tomorrow morning. It's 10 a.m. So we're about 19 hours away from Mark Onweiler stepping onto the mat
glorious
for his
debut.
very first kickboxing class of his 10-week challenge. So I'm going to turn it over to Nicole, and she can let him know what to expect for week 1, and everybody listening of our 10-week challenge members.
So the first thing I would recommend, especially if you're an early morning person, and you're worried about getting up every single morning, and this is for anything, if you want to get up early, there's an alarm app that's called Alarmy.
Alarmy?
Alarmy.
With a Y?
Yes. Okay. Alarm with a Y at the end. I use this to break my snooze habit. I'm a morning person, so getting up in the morning is not difficult, but I would hit snooze a lot until I would be the one that would set the alarm like 40 minutes early. So you could hit snooze until you really had to get up. So I needed to break that habit. So the Alarmy app, I highly recommend it. You can just do the free version, but to break my snooze habit, it has a feature that to get the alarm to shut off, you have to take a picture of something to get it to shut off. So you take the picture ahead of time, and then to get it to shut off, you kind of have to line it up and take the picture. So I made it our towel rack in our bathroom, because once I was up, I knew, and lights on, and I'd be fine. Yeah. So you go in, and to get it to shut off, you have to kind of line up the little picture. It's like a vague picture, and you line it up, and then it stops. So that might be something if you start to struggle in the next couple weeks, or if we have any listeners that struggle with getting up in the morning, hitting snooze. But
that's rough.
Yeah.
Geez.
No, I know.
Like genius.
Yeah,
but rough.
It is. I know. It was really fun the time we went to Mexico, and I forgot to change it.
No.
And I didn't have my thing. I can't remember what I did. There's some way to override it, but it's not a way that is easy enough that you're going to do it when you're groggy and asleep. So you can also make it I think they have one where you can scan a barcode. So if you take a vitamin or something like that, that might be a good reminder to take your vitamin. I should probably do that because I'm really bad at taking vitamins. But so I would recommend that. That's a good one if you have trouble getting up. But tomorrow you probably won't, because you're going to be excited.
So excited.
Yeah, you're going to be super excited. You're going to just
I might not sleep at all tonight.
Right. You probably won't. You're going to have dreams of doing push-ups. Which, let's talk about that real quick.
Yeah.
So yesterday we did 1 minute of push-ups and 1 minute of sit-ups as our benchmark.
So that's 2 minutes of exercise.
2 minutes of exercise yesterday. What how did that go for you? What was your 2 minutes of exercise comprised of?
So I managed to suffer through 7 push-ups and 16 sit-ups in my 2 minutes. Harder than I expected it to be.
Right.
I don't know the last time I did a push-up before yesterday. So I started on my toes and could not do one, which was, again, eye-opening. So went down to my knees and managed to get through 7. And my partner Cole was very nice. He was trying to throw some extra my way, and I thought, no, like put those on the end.
Right.
In 10 weeks, you can give me a couple extra.
Quarter push-ups.
Right.
You got 4 quarter push-ups in.
That's a push-up.
Make it one.
Look, this is a math show. I know that. I've done that math.
Right.
And the 16 push-ups. What I noticed there was, when I was done, I was just done.
Yeah.
Like there was no powering through. There was no I'm gonna grind to one more. I was like, oh, I just can't.
Me too.
It has shut off.
That's how sit-ups were for me. I only did 10 my very first 10 weeks. I could not have done another sit-up. And I don't know. I probably got those 10 in the first 20 seconds, and then I was just done.
Yeah.
I know.
Muscles stopped working.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. But that's why we do that. It's a small thing that we can test. And obviously you're going to do a ton of push-ups and sit-ups in this program, as we go. But there's something like special about that 1 minute, like as fast as you can, as many as you can in 1 minute. So when you do it again at 5 weeks, like you're going to be amazed. You're going to get through those first 7 push-ups in the first 10 seconds. Like you'll get through them so quick and and same thing with sit-ups. Like sometimes for sit-ups, I know for me, I run out of time before I run out of sit-ups first, because you can only do so many in 1 minute. Like you just kind of run out. I could keep going, but and you're sore today.
Yeah, I am. I baked cookies this morning, and we keep our KitchenAid mixer up on the top shelf.
Gosh, yeah,
and those are heavy.
They are very
so
heavy.
I reached up to get it, and I got it. I go, oh no, oh no,
drop it. Failure.
That's an expensive drop if I drop that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's rough.
I know. That's the whole, if we have listeners, if we have members listening, goes along with you're not special. I'm sure everyone that did those push-ups and sit-ups yesterday are sore. For me, it's the sit-ups that get me. I can't believe how sore my abs get when I just try to do as many as I can in 1 minute. Like it's crazy. But well, good job. I'm excited to see what happens in the next 5 weeks for 5-week testing. But now what to expect tomorrow once you've gotten up and taken the picture of whatever with your Alarmy app, which you won't need. But when you come in, so tomorrow will be kickboxing, and the first 7 to 10 minutes are going to be warm up. And it's funny because it's the easiest part of class. It's mentally challenging because it's like rhythmic warm up. So you're trying to keep the beat. You're trying to learn the terminology. You don't know what you're doing yet. And so we could slow it down as much as possible, but you just have to just do it. So don't worry about it. First 10 minutes, just do the best you can. Keep moving. Then we'll stretch. And then we start our kickboxing segments where we do like couple minutes on the bag, punching, learning the punches, couple minutes off the bag. That's where you're going to be doing some push-ups tomorrow, I bet.
Cool.
But it won't be for time. You can go at your own pace. And then it'll be done. So like the coaches will be walking around. Jeff will probably be walking around. One of my favorite things during week 1 is, it's like 25 minutes into class. You've gotten through the warm up, you've gotten through the stretching, we're on the bag, and I go up to like give someone a little tip on how they're doing something. And we don't learn new things very much as adults. So it's mentally difficult. That first day is hard because we are not used to not being able to do stuff. So that's why we always say, that's why we always tell people to allow yourself to be a beginner that first week. And some people there's that pride. And when someone's correcting them, you want to make an excuse like, but my arm is really sore. And I'm always like, what? Your arm is sore? You've been doing this for 25 minutes. Let's go. Like, of course your arm is sore. Of course you don't know what you're doing. Like, you're not a professional yet. It's okay. So that's the biggest thing, is just keep moving. And then our strength training the first week is I always feel like it's a little deceiving because it is going to seem really easy. I mean, you're going to be sore from it, but it's the warm up. We just kind of want to get your muscles moving. And then next week, we really ramp it up a lot for week 2. So week 1, just keep moving. Allow yourself to be a beginner. That's all you have to keep telling yourself.
Trust the process.
Show up and
Yeah.
trust the process. That's right.
And that's the same for anybody. If you whatever program you're doing or whatever gym you're going to, if you're doing it from home, is one day at a time, one workout at a time, one meal at a time.
Yep.
You know, allow yourselves to be a beginner. You might, hopefully you're inspired to start something tomorrow on a Monday. You know, so just get through Monday and then get through Tuesday. And as you're creating those healthy habits, it's going to be easier and easier and easier to do that the longer you're doing it. But you have to allow yourself the time to get there. And whatever program you're doing, you know, you're not going to get your results in 2 days.
No.
Or 1 hour or 1 week. So it takes time and patience. And that's what a lot of us don't have. So we're all in this, you know, Biggest Loser type mentality.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, I lost 60 pounds in 1 week, you know, but the reality is we have lives and stress. So, all right. Well, that is the end of hour 1. Jeff and Nicole Essing, Fitness Fanatics. Coming up next, we have Mike Price from Lincoln. He is a member at our Yankee Ridge location, and he has a pretty awesome story. We're going to dive into that. Hope you will stay tuned. We'll see you here in a few minutes.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you sick of mindlessly running on a treadmill or the lack of motivation to consistently work out? Whatever your challenge, Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping can help. Whether you want to lose weight, boost energy, or simply improve your overall health, you'll fit right in at Farrell's regardless of age or abilities. Build endurance with their kickboxing and strength training group fitness classes while also getting nutrition coaching. Try Farrell's now for a free week. Visit fxblincoln.com or call Jeff at 402-310-4026. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping.
I know that a lot of times, Mom, it might not seem like I'm listening to you, but I am. I hear you. And what you say really does matter to me.
I mean, let's be honest. No kid likes rules, but I get why we have them. I hear you, and I know it's because you care.
For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Sponsored by DHHS and aired in cooperation with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it's been a great start here to the year as 2022 new inventory continues to roll in. Our pre-owned lot remains full, and we are selling at a record pace. I was just down at Koppel talking about a new order for myself, and they let me know I can actually start ordering a 2023 here later this spring. So stop on in to get your new 2022, your pre-owned vehicle, or maybe talk about ordering here for 2023. Check them out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did.
Hey, Steve. Welcome to Great Clips.
Great Clips asks, what's the difference between good and great?
Come on back and have a seat.
Good asks you what haircut you'd like.
I have all your details from last time. Would you like the same haircut today?
Great already knows. With Clip Notes, we save your haircut details so you can get the same thing as last time, every time. Download our online check-in app today. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
Bagels & Joe is ready for the spring with pesto cream cheese, great on any bagel. Try a mint and peach Arnold Palmer while you're there, and don't forget their locally roasted coffee, delicious breakfast burritos, and bagel boxes for the office. Bagels & Joe with 4 Lincoln locations.
Mike Schaefer here for Trek CBD. Springtime is here, and that means you're outside more in nice weather and maybe even having garage parties with neighbors. The drink of this spring and summer isn't your typical seltzer. It's drinkable Delta 8. Yep, Trek CBD has drinkable Delta 8 seltzers with mango and lime flavors for 4-packs and 12-packs, coming in a variety of mango, watermelon, lime, and berry. They also have hemp-derived Delta 9 syrups to put in your beverages, and as always, the excellent Delta 8 gummies. Trek CBD, CBD done right.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very ezy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great. We're definitely coming back.
Sure.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels and Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket. Every Saturday morning now in our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Welcome into Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now here are your hosts, Jeff and Nicole Essig.
Hi, we are back here, Fitness Fanatics, Hour 2. One of the things we want to bring to the worldwide masses out there that are listening all over the world, because I know they're listening all over the world. Global phenomenon going on here, the Fitness Fanatics, are life-changing stories. Not just weight loss, but maybe, a mental transformation or something where, we have people that were just completely at rock bottom and they've used fitness to get themselves out of it. Not necessarily Farrell's, but, something that has helped change their life, because I think there's a lot of people out there listening that, have gotten to those low moments and they don't know where to start or where to begin. And it just kind of snowballs into one day you're okay, 10 years later, you're in the lowest moment of your life, you know? So that's something we want to try to help and bring to those out there listening. So our first guest here, his name is Mike Price. And how you doing, Mike?
I'm good.
Good. Mike was so excited that he was here at 9:30 this morning.
He was
yes,
early,
yes,
which we
He
get
was
here really
ready to
early
go.
too. We've
Look,
gotten here early the
We're the
last
first
two
ones
weeks, too.
here both
I know.
weeks. There's nobody in the parking lot, and we're just out here.
You just never know when a train might pop out right in front of you.
That's
You
right.
have to wait, even though we crossed
Right.
0 train tracks to get here.
So we have Mike Price here with us. And how are you this morning, Mike?
I'm good. Feeling really good.
Well, I've known you since January.
Yep.
So really 4 months.
Right.
So obviously we work out together
Yes.
at Farrell's.
We do.
But what we wanted to share was kind of your story before Farrell's.
Yeah.
So you have a very interesting story, and kind of the bottom line is that at one point Mike weighed 520 pounds.
Yes, sir.
Which, when I started Farrell's, I was 240 pounds and 49% body fat. So that's not something I can relate to, weighing 520 pounds. But what we want to kind of dive into is first is kind of, leading up to that point, because I think some of us, time goes by, and then I'm sure you felt the same way. And then all of a sudden, you were 200 pounds, and then you were 300 pounds, and you might be like, oh, I'm going to get started here next month.
Yep.
And then it just keeps going until
Absolutely.
you reach that point. So tell us a little bit about your backstory and leading up to, that moment when you were at your heaviest and you were finally like, enough is enough. I need to do something to change my life. So I'm going to pass it off to you.
All right. The word counter is ticking away.
It is.
Right?
I know. I'm done.
We're about 20,000 words, I think.
It's all you
really
now.
want to know.
It doesn't
really
have to be all
curious
me.
to know.
We can have a conversation. I like that.
Yeah.
But no, I think when I became an adult, 20 years old, I was 300 pounds maybe. So I've always been a bigger guy. But you're right. It just sort of slowly happens. The last time I remember kind of keeping track of my weight, I was like 320 pounds, and I stayed there for, I don't know, a decade or so, just living life. I wasn't working out. I wasn't doing anything like that. But, then my wife and I had kids, we've got 3 young kids, and when you have young kids, you're home a lot. You can't go do a lot of things. So life became even more sedentary for me, you know, and it just slowly happened to the point where, you know, you kind of feel isolated in those times too, when you're home alone, your friends are out doing things and you're home with kids, and I'm an emotional eater. So
Mhm.
you
You lose yourself
you
a
pack
little
on the
bit.
pounds and
Yeah.
you lose yourself. And so, yeah, I mean, it got to a point where, you know, I'd gone through a weight loss thing previous to that, where I was up to 430 some pounds or something like that.
Yeah.
And
What did you do? Like, because you had said
Yeah.
that you had lost
140, 30 some pounds.
So what were
yeah.
you doing what were you doing at that point to go to when you lost 135
Well,
pounds?
that was a strict meal plan and workout deal. And you know, I had to work out 4 or 5 days a week, just like we do
Mhm.
at Farrell's, but it was just weightlifting, and
Okay.
you know, it was like a traditional gym
Yeah.
program.
Yeah.
And then of course the meals were like heavily scripted,
Right.
and
Right.
a lot of like supplementation, like
Mhm.
packets of food you mix up and make, right?
Sure.
And look, that stuff works
Yeah.
technically,
Right.
right? But the problem with it was there was stuff available to me after, like, post support, that I just didn't take advantage of.
That's a big part of it, because when you struggle, when you're so strict for so long, and we see this with the end of 10-week sessions too,
Mhm.
because people will continue on at the end of the 10-week session. They're like, I'm just going to take a week off.
Yep.
And then within that week, you lose that, you know, that drive. And that's the
Absolutely.
same thing if you're on a super strict meal plan
Yep.
and you don't do the follow-up, then it's just harder to get back to it. It just
Absolutely.
is, because now you know you're going into it knowing what it's going to take,
Yeah.
and it's easier to just not do it.
Yep,
Yeah. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Mhm.
And that's what happened. I mean, I can almost remember the day we stopped being committed to it, you
Mhm.
know, and it's just like some random Saturday, we're not going to go to the gym this morning. And then, you know, we went and did other things, and then you just never go back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's amazing to me how easy that is to do after you've spent, at that time, that was a 6-month program.
Mhm.
So in 6 months, I lost 135 pounds. I was 330 something. And I felt great, but I still had more I wanted to lose and all that. And you just stop going. And then life happens. You get kids, you got all this stuff. Life happens. Your work and all this and that.
Yep.
And then you get 3, 4, 5, 6 years later, and you're 520 pounds, which seems, thinking back on it, it's so extreme. It's so extreme. I mean, I would walk in my office where I work, and people would hear me coming, not because I shuffle my feet, but because I breathe like a freight train.
Right.
You know,
Mhm,
just
mhm.
heavy,
Yeah.
heavy, deep breaths. Like they thought I was going to kick over. And every day, like they
Mhm.
were afraid today's the day we're going to have to get this big guy off the floor.
Mhm.
And so, you know, and you think about that, like walking from my car to my desk, I'd be out of breath. You know, standing up out of your desk hurts. It hurts to
Mhm.
move. It hurts
Mhm.
to get out of your chair at home. Like, you want to talk about what it feels like to be 500 pounds. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm right at the precipice of 300, right? 310 or so. And I feel like I'm half the man I was then.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it's
go ahead.
listening to your body too, because like you said, you're a big guy.
Yeah.
Like you're always going to be just a
Right.
bigger person.
Right.
That's not the same as, you know, like you said, you can still live a very, you know, active life
Oh yeah.
in the 300s,
Oh, sure.
you know, but it's
Yeah.
a matter of how that weight is distributed,
Right.
what you're doing, how you're fueling your body, stuff like that. Like you're never going to be 180 pound
Right.
No.
man.
No,
Like
and
that's just,
you know, if you
right.
talk to the doctors, like there's, you know, they would all say 185 pounds
No.
is where I'm supposed to be. Like,
Yeah.
dude, if I'm 185 pounds,
You're
like,
dying.
probably
Like it's,
so.
you're sick.
You know,
Yeah.
or I might
Right.
be in the
Right.
absolute best shape of my life, but not healthy about
Yeah,
it, right?
no.
It's
Yes.
totally
Yeah.
unhealthy.
And that's
So-
about being realistic
Right,
too.
right.
It's not a cookie cutter.
Well,
You're never going to be.
in losing this weight, people have asked me, well, what do you want to get down to?
Yeah.
And, you know, I just want to be under 300 pounds.
Mhm.
Like that's my goal.
Yeah.
To live under 300 pounds. I don't really care what the number is.
Well, and then, you know, once you get that goal, then it's more a matter of like, okay, I'm just going to keep eating how I'm supposed to eat.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep working out, and wherever that takes me to and takes my body to,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's going to be great.
Right.
Yep.
You know, so if you're, you know, there's a difference between, like, for me being 240 pounds and 49% body fat versus some guys that start ferals and they're 240 pounds and they're 20% body
Right.
fat.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
we both weigh 240 pounds, but we look way different.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep, absolutely.
So you got up to 520 pounds. So
Yeah.
tell us about like when you made the decision was like, okay, I have had enough.
Yeah.
And it's time to change. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, my wife and I talked quite a bit about it. I had kind of looked into other, like all kinds of options, you know, when you're that heavy and you're so miserable, like, you're like, can I cut
You're
a leg
desperate,
off?
right.
Can
Yeah.
I, you know,
Yeah.
can I walk around without my head? There's a lot of fat in
Yeah.
there, you know? And, you know, you just start looking at options, and, you know, I came around to gastric sleeve as something I was really interested in. So I think it was probably October of 20, you know, I talked to my wife about it, and I was like, I think I really want to go talk to a doctor about this. And, you know, we just started the process about then, but I think it was, you know, I had made that decision, we're going to do it. And it was, you know, Thanksgiving. So November, you know, I'm still miserable, but, you know, just couldn't get on a scale because there isn't one around that's going to tell you how heavy you are. So there's kind of a couple month process there from October to like say January of 21, where I was thinking that's what I wanted to do. I had gone to the doctor, we had talked about it, but you know, when you go to that doctor, they're like, well, you need to lose 50 pounds on your own before we're going to do anything with you because we don't want to.
Is that like a standard?
I think it's
I think it's
an insurance thing more than anything.
Well, and it makes sense
but this
too.
particular doctor was like, I need you to commit to me, basically.
Yeah.
You need to show me you're willing to do it.
That's what it seems to me that is more about. But also, yes, the higher your weight, the higher the risk of the surgery.
Sure,
but
right.
I hear a lot of people say that, and I do think it's that mental. You know, it's not a quick fix, and they're trying to set that up to you and me like right away.
Absolutely.
Like, you have to meet me here.
Yeah, you meet me halfway. I'm gonna make you lose 50 pounds, and then I'm happy to help you here.
Okay.
And that was certainly and I'm sure it's more about the, you know, the success of surgery. The heavier you are, the less successful. And doctors are like anybody; they want to win.
Right.
You know, they don't want they don't want you to end up failing or dying or anything else. So so in that couple month process, you know, I was still, my mind was shifting towards doing this surgery, which is extreme. You know, a lot of people were like, I don't think you should do that. That sounds really crazy. And it probably is, if you think about it, you know, but my rock bottom low moment, I had a ceremonial event for a fraternal organization I'm part of. And my role in that was to walk all these dignitaries around the room. Right. So it's COVID. So we're masked up. I'm in a tuxedo, which is not comfortable anyway at 500 pounds. They don't make a tuxedo to fit comfortably for a 500-pound dude. They don't, there's not one that exists. So super uncomfortable. And at that time, 41 years old or whatever it is. And I had to have a cane to walk around the room, to stay standing and walk around the room. Super embarrassing. I was
at 41.
At 41, I'd have a cane. And of course, I mean, COVID doesn't help with the mask and all that, but I would have been out of breath anyway.
Right.
The mask just highlighted the pain, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and I'm not, you know, so it was just a total show, you know, and, so, and there were people there that, you know, I respect and I love and I care about, and they feel the same for me. And just the look in their eyes was a killer.
Yeah.
Because they were embarrassed for me.
You. Right.
It was awkward as hell for them. And
just worried.
And they were scared.
Yeah.
Like they thought I was going to die.
Yeah.
You know, like this guy's going to have a heart attack right here in the middle of the room. And that was about as low as I'd been. Like coming out of that, I had about a 2-week period where I couldn't get right mentally. I was done. I could have, if it weren't for my kids, like I could have just disappeared, you know, just drive away till the gas runs out. Right.
Yeah.
And I was there, and that was kind of it. Like, okay, something's got to change. Like we have got to do something different now. And that's when I really kicked it into gear, losing the 50 pounds I needed to. I think I lost 45 or 46, and they're like, okay, yeah. You're good enough.
Yeah. And
then we went down the road of the surgery. So,
well, and the thing about that, the surgery is you know, we all know people that have done that.
Yep.
And you know, it works for a while.
Yep.
And it's an extreme like
Yeah.
change in lifestyle, because we were talking about this before you came on. Like, you know, when you weigh 520 pounds, man, we can tear it up.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Right. We
Yeah.
can tear it up on the buffets.
I could have medaled in the Olympics of buffets. Man.
Right. So
I was definitely going to be on the podium.
Right. So you're
Yeah.
going from basically just eating whatever you want, you know, to now you're limited, and we don't need to get into like how many calories stuff like that you're supposed to eat, but you know, limited on what you could eat.
Yeah.
So I think like, you know, really focusing on like why sometimes that doesn't work for people is, you know, there was a reason that you got to 520 pounds.
Yep.
You know, and it's up here.
Yeah.
It's, you know,
100%.
So really like if you change like why you got to that point, like mentally, you know, so now you you know, you've lost a bunch of weight.
Yeah.
And if you can get right mentally and figure out, okay, why did I get to that point?
Yeah.
And, you know, have your reasons, as Aaron Davis says, that strong reasons weaken excuses.
Yep.
You know, so if your reasons and goals are strong enough, then you're gonna have a shift mentally, and to where now you're like, I never want to get back there again, and I'm gonna do everything possible, because having the weight loss surgery doesn't guarantee that you will not weigh 520 pounds again.
No, absolutely. I mean, there's I know more than one person who's passed away due to, you know, obesity. I mean, ultimately it's something else, but being obese killed them.
Right.
And you find out afterwards, oh yeah, they had the gastric bypass or they had a gastric sleeve, and you're like, they were 375 pounds. How could they? Well, it's easy. It's the same deal. And you're right, that mental part is the biggest key. And for me, after surgery, that having that support, which is ultimately what the surgery is, it's a support, it's a tool.
Right.
Having that support, you know, gave me the confidence to let's get out, get going again. Let's walk. Let's you know, eat right, do those things, and so using that tool for what it's supposed to be, and changing the mental game. Like I was talking to you guys during break, like you were talking about allow yourself to be a beginner, right? I have always been terrible to myself emotionally. Terrible. And some of my oldest memories are just horrible things you'd say or whatever to yourself. But I would always be able to give empathy and grace to just about everybody else, even people I can't stand. I can be supportive and empathetic and kind too. But I would never be that kind to myself. And I still struggle with that now, you know, and probably always will. But as you're starting to lose weight, you're starting to feel better physically, you start to feel better emotionally, you can give yourself grace, give yourself a little bit of kindness, so that if you make a mistake here, you make a poor choice here, you maybe didn't do what you're supposed to do these couple days. Okay, well, it's fine. Let's keep moving. You know, you've got a goal in mind here. Let's keep moving forward.
Because we're all gonna fall off the wagon. We all do.
Right. It's that
stupid,
analogy about like, you know, you have a bad day and it's like, you know, you get a flat tire, you don't slash the other 4 tires. It's just like, that's a perfect analogy though, because it's so true. Like, something bad. That's how that's how we sabotage ourselves. And it's easy to do because the fight is in your head.
Absolutely.
Like in real life, if you got a flat tire, no, you would never slash the rest of the tires. Like, because that is an outward action, and people would see that and they would think you were crazy.
Right.
But you can think everything horrible about yourself in your head, and nobody needs to know what you're fighting.
People think 2 double Whoppers and a Diet Coke is crazy too, you know. You know, or 3 chicken sandwiches and
2
a Diet
chicken
Coke,
sandwiches and and a McDouble and what was that, Nick? And fries. Okay.
So
Nick's in studio with us now, and this is a continuation from Friday's conversation.
But yeah, I mean, we all have those sort of things. We'll give ourselves a break on this deal, but get back on the horse. You know.
Okay.
Well, and so then
is it time for a break?
Okay. So when we come back, Mike Price made another life-changing decision to join Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping. So we're going to talk about that a little bit when we come back. If you have any questions for us or Mike, you can reach us Starter Heyman text line 402-464-5685. We'll be right back.
The spring game weekend doesn't just stop on Saturday. Make plans to stop by the Husker Sports Memorabilia Show on Sunday at Superior Bingo Hall on 48th Street. The show goes from 9 to 5 on Sunday with Heisman winner Mike Rozier and current Husker football players signing autographs from noon to 2. There's tons of Husker items to buy as we wrap up spring football and head into the offseason. It's the Husker Sports Memorabilia Show from 9 to 5 on Sunday at Superior Bingo Hall on 48th Street.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
2022 is all about staying well. And guess what? There are lots of easy ways to take care of your mental and physical health every day, like eating right and exercising, taking vitamins, drinking water, scheduling those annual doctor's visits, or just resting. That's right, even a quick nap counts. Because let's be honest, these days we could all use a little more wellness in our lives. So stay well, Nebraska. For more ways you can stay healthy, visit staywellnebraska.com.
John Henry's Plumbing, heating and air.
When it comes to your home or business, we know you have options, and that's why John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning gives you just that. Options. We have plumbing, heating, and cooling memberships to serve all of your residential and commercial needs. We want to ensure you, your family, and your business are safe. Visit our website, jhlincoln.com, to find out more or call us at
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, heating and air.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them? By their clothes, their age, the way they speak? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job,
not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner? Or a 14-year-old girl who signs up to every after-school activity, not to make friends, but just to get something to eat? Or a retiree who fell ill and had to choose
between getting medicine or groceries.
I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. People you pass by every day but never knew were hungry. I am hunger in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Bank Strong, and the Ad Council.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it's been a great start here to the year as 2022 new inventory continues to roll in. Our pre-owned lot remains full, and we are selling at a record pace. I was just down at Koppel talking about a new order for myself, and they let me know I could actually start ordering a 2023 here later this spring. So stop on in to get your new 2022, your pre-owned vehicle, or maybe talk about ordering here for 2023. Check them out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did.
Are you sick of mindlessly running on a treadmill or the lack of motivation to consistently work out? Whatever your challenge, Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping can help. Whether you want to lose weight, boost energy, or simply improve your overall health, you'll fit right in at Farrell's regardless of age or abilities. Build endurance with their kickboxing and strength training group fitness classes while also getting nutrition coaching. Try Farrell's now for a free week. Visit fxblincoln.com or call Jeff at 402-310-4026. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is hiring and seeking motivated applicants. Gray offers a second-to-none benefit package that includes health, dental, vision, 401k, paid vacation, and paid holidays. They offer great pay and tuition reimbursement or a tool purchase program for qualified candidates. It's a fun, friendly team with lots of variety and work assignments, so there's something for everybody. View and apply for their job openings today at grayusa.com or visit them in person just off I-80 and North 56th Street. Come be a part of the Gray difference.
Brats, check. Chips, check. Tickets. I love tailgating, but this year I actually wanted to be in the stadium. Season tickets just weren't in my budget. Then I found a way. A research study at Solarion. I searched the studies and found a perfect match for me. I earned cash for the study and bought those season tickets. Plus, I made an impact on medical research. Find a study and sign up today at helpresearch.com.
You should consider the risks of the research before you agree to participate.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels and Joe. All you have to do is shut up Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday. You lost Wednesday. You're a loser.
Shut up Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealership, is hosting their annual sprayer clinic at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney, Nebraska, February 2nd and 3rd. Landmark Sprayer Clinic offers expansive equipment and technology training on different models of John Deere and Hagie sprayers. Learn about the newest technology, machine maintenance, spray tip selection, and more. We'll be offering free dicamba certification. Join us February 2nd and 3rd in Kearney. RSVP by calling your local Landmark location or at landmarkimp.com/events.
Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, we're back at you here. Jeff and Nicole Essing, Fitness Fanatics. We are joined in studio by Mike Price.
Hello.
If you have missed the first half hour, you can go check us out on the stream or on the podcast on the show there. We're also on Apple. I always forget if it's Apple, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're on Spotify. We're on all your favorite streaming platforms. So get on there, subscribe to us so you never miss an episode.
That's right.
So we talked a little bit with Mike. If you missed it, Mike had weighed 520 pounds at his heaviest. He had
big boy.
Yeah, had weight loss surgery there. And something else life-changing happened to him. He knows one of our members, Jessica Shelburne.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did you know her or did your wife know her? Like, how did you two come about Farrell's Extreme Body Shaving?
We know Jess through, I'm a Shriner. And
Okay.
so her partner's a Shriner as well. So,
Okay.
so we know them through that.
Okay.
And it's one of those things I think it's sort of serendipitous. You know, I asked her about it maybe 6 or 8 months beforehand and just didn't. She offered up, here's friends and family, do this and that. And I just wasn't in the right mindset. Right. So I think we just kind of missed it. And then like, yep, missed it.
I think that's what's important though, that for people to understand about Farrell's, like the timing does have to be right.
Yeah,
it's not something that we
absolutely.
want people to just fly into without really thinking about it. It's a commitment and the timing is not always right. Now, does that mean that you have to put your health and fitness journey on hold until the time is right? No, there's lots of things that you can do. But when you're committing to a program that's 10 weeks and you're trying to do what you can in that time, you do have to, the time has to be right.
Right.
And you continued your journey,
Right.
even though you knew you weren't starting right away.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I like I said, I had the support of the surgery there, still losing weight that way. And so it was just a matter of not knowing if we could commit to the 10 weeks and we're, we knew early on that with our schedules the way they are, we'd have to be the 4 a.m. crew. So shout out to the 4 a.m.
My
guys.
favorite time to work out.
Yeah, we team 4 a.m.
Yes.
We get after it, but we knew that we'd have to, just because of our schedule, like we would have to be. So then it's a commitment of, okay, are we going to get up and do this every day? So, so anyway, the second time around, I think I approached her, Jess, and I said, hey, what's the deal with this gym? What's the story? And she got us in. We went to friends and family, and I knew I loved it immediately. Like it was my kind of thing. I played football and wrestled in high school, and I love football. I adore football. I could sit and talk about football for hours and hours and hours. I don't miss practicing football.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think very few people probably would, unless you were like a star quarterback or something. Right. But wrestling, I was never very good at it, but I adored it. And even for all the running, and I couldn't like breathe, still couldn't breathe as a kid, as a young adult, but I loved it. There was something about the competition of it that I loved. And our workouts at Farrell's, after we went to the friends and family, I'm like, this is a me thing. Like, I'm going to get out of this what I put into it.
Right.
Very much like wrestling practice. Like, you're going to get out of it what you put into it. And so it hooked me right away. And then once my wife was like, I kind of like that. Like, okay, we're in, So that's kind of how that happened.
Right.
Right.
And you guys did the 10-week challenge starting in January.
Right.
And for you coming off the weight loss surgery where you're all about you for the last year, you're about that number on the scale. And then you
How
get
much had you lost?
before you started.
I
have his weight wrote down.
Yeah, it's
so he started Farrell's. He was 325 pounds.
Right.
When you started. So you're down almost 200.
And I think I was like 470 when I had surgery.
Okay.
Something like that. Right.
So
I don't,
150.
again, I'm not like,
It
not like
which is
locked
great.
into numbers.
Yeah,
but,
and that's fine.
But yeah, something like that. I was in that ballpark. To me, and I've said this for a long time, like looking at someone, you don't really know the difference between 350 and 550 pounds. Like they're all probably big or overweight, right? And in my head, that's the same thing. Like it's 330, it's 230. It doesn't really matter. Like it's all the same.
Right,
so,
right.
but no, so yeah, I was, what's it say there?
325.
325, right.
So Mike rolls on into Farrell's.
Yeah.
And for the last year, it's all been about that number on the scale.
Yeah.
And then he meets us, and we're
Right.
like, no. It's not about the number on the scale. Let's focus on, because as you're losing weight, you're not doing a body composition, right? You're just here's the number, and it's going down and down and down and down.
Right.
So you don't know what's going on. Obviously, you're losing fat,
Right.
when you lose that much weight. But you don't know what's going on with your muscle mass.
And you have to lose muscle too.
Oh,
Like
and
that's
that's
the other
okay.
thing, right?
Yes,
Like
yes.
at that point, you're not going to get down out of the 300s and still carry the same amount of weight that carried your 520 pound body.
Absolutely
Like
not.
you have to lose. And that's the thing with people who do our program and have a substantial amount of weight to lose. You're going to lose muscle because we don't realize how much work it takes to just move yourself around. And as you become a smaller person, your muscles do not need to work as hard, so there's a difference between building muscle through working out and losing muscle as part of just becoming a smaller person. So that's why we really don't want to focus on that number, because some people will lose muscle, but we just want to be able to see what's happening and how that is going.
Absolutely.
So over the 10 weeks, I have these numbers jotted down here. So Mike,
I know on the scale, we're talking about that. Like on the scale, it wasn't much.
No, and I was really happy that you were okay with that too, because
that's all the mentality shift that we were talking about.
Yes. Yeah.
Was, and this happens with some people that do Farrell's, right? They get at their 5 weeks, they step on the scale and they've lost 1 pound or 2 pounds.
I don't think I lost any weight at 5 weeks for me.
So it's like, then you think, oh, this program's not working.
Yeah.
It's not, this is ridiculous. I'm working out 6 days a week.
Getting up in the middle of the night.
Right. But one thing about Mike, in those first 5 weeks, he gained 3 pounds of muscle. So when you start and you weigh 325 pounds starting Farrell's, like if you're, he lost a few pounds on the scale, lost fat and built muscle, which we always tell people a successful weigh-in is when you lose more fat than weight on the scale.
Right.
So at the end of the 10 weeks, you had lost 4 pounds over the 10 weeks, but you had added 3 pounds of muscle and you had lost 8 pounds of fat.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
And you lost about 10 inches.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So what's interesting for me is like you're coming in all about the number on the scale, all about the number on the scale, which has been your mentality for the last year going through your weight loss journey. And so now you're shifting from the number on the scale to, I don't want to worry about the number on the scale. Like that had to have been like a big transformation for you, because
or was it a relief?
Or was it
I feel
was
like
it a
it'd be
relief? Yes.
to not have to worry about
Yeah,
those
no,
numbers.
for me, not like, because you guys say do not weigh, don't weigh yourself.
Right.
Don't bog yourself down with that. And for me, it was probably a bit of a relief. Like just knowing I'm not going to focus on that. I'm just going to worry about being here every day, being consistent. It's like Aaron Davis talks about, the water rushing, creating a canyon kind of a thing. You know? So like, that's it. Just consistency is the key.
Yes.
And look, I'll be honest, like, in that 10-week challenge, I wanted to win the thing. I wanted to win it.
Yeah.
But I knew probably with a couple weeks left, like, man, like looking at myself in the mirror, I'm like, I don't know, like if I have enough to win this thing. And there was a couple weeks there where still going to the gym, still working really hard actually, and mentally just like, nope, not going to win it.
That's
right.
very normal.
And
very
so
normal.
and that shift happened probably the last couple weeks.
Week
where I was
7.
like, okay,
Yeah, it's
Yep.
kind of a
So I was
dead
like,
zone right there.
all right, okay,
Yeah.
so that may not happen,
Mhm.
and you'll be okay if it doesn't, but let's keep moving.
Yeah.
Right. So that last week, I think I kicked total butt
Mhm.
myself, but that was part of the process, like that mental game of I would have sabotaged myself. I'm like,
Yes.
what are we doing here? Get out of
Right.
here.
Yeah.
Don't come back. Right.
Mhm.
And proving to yourself that you can keep coming. Like,
Mhm.
hey, that didn't go the way you want it to go, but you still have your goals in front of you.
Yeah.
You're still doing everything you can do. Just make the next right choice and go to the gym tomorrow, work
Mhm.
hard, eat right, all those things. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, going through the program with your
Yeah.
wife
Yeah.
is good too, because I think you had talked about this a little earlier about the change that you could see in her face.
Yeah.
Mhm.
From when
Yeah,
her
Nicole was talking
first
about
day
it in the first hour.
to the
Like,
end. Like,
her favorite part is the end when she
Yeah.
sees people's like their demeanor change.
Yes.
And you'd said that about my wife.
Yes.
Just hers was completely different.
She was a standout for me last
Yeah.
session. And I told her that right away
Yeah,
when I
right.
saw her at the party, because it's hard when you get that before and after picture and you're kind of excited, but you're
Yeah.
also like, we're rarely ever actually going to be happy with the way
Right.
that we look. So it's opening that and trying to find the positive,
Yep.
even though you have, your lifetime of that voice in your head
Yep.
that's telling you that you're not good enough or you didn't do enough or whatever.
Right.
So when I saw Sarah's face, the difference in her face, her color,
Right.
she had color to her. She just
Right.
looked so healthy at
Yep.
the end of that 10 weeks. I grabbed her the minute you guys walked in the door.
It was right away. I'm like,
Yes.
what is she?
Yeah, because I
You
wanted
yanked
to
her away.
tell her that
Right.
before she saw her picture, before her, mind could try to sabotage
Right.
the work that she had done in 10 weeks, because that's how much it stood out to me. And that's,
Right.
that is why I love that part.
Right.
And she was one. And I'm a woman and I know like what's how we are. We're just, and guys are like that too, but
Sure.
we're just really hard on
I mean,
ourselves.
look,
And
I'd love to have worked out for 10 weeks and then come out Channing Tatum. I would
Right,
have loved
yeah.
that, right? But that's not realistic.
But even Channing
Right.
Tatum doesn't like Channing Tatum sometimes.
sure,
Like
I'm sure.
he looks at
Right.
himself in the mirror and thinks, I wish I could be the Rock.
Right.
Like that
I'm
is
sure.
just the reality of
Don't we all want to be the Rock? though?
comparison.
So yeah, no, I agree. I
Yeah,
agree.
right.
And that mental game, and I think that's part of that, grass is greener bit where
Yes.
you can't worry about those kinds of things you can't
No.
control. Like you have the body you have, look, I was thinking this the other day, like the person we spend the most times with in our whole life is ourselves.
Yes. Yeah.
So, and this is, it's been impossible for me most of my life to be nice to that
Right.
person.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been horrible to that person.
The mindset.
And I've been great to really horrible people.
Right. Yeah.
But I'm horrible
Didn't
to
deserve
myself.
it. Yeah.
Probably didn't. Right.
The
And,
mindset for
yeah.
me happened when we have 2 kids and we have a daughter that's 19 and a son that's 15. The turning point for me, I grew up hearing my mom talk about her body, and not in a super negative way, but I can tell you right now the things that my mom was self-conscious about on her body, because she talked about it a lot. And so there was a time once my daughter started becoming aware of, clothes and how clothes fit and stuff, that I realized I should never talk to myself in a way that I would not talk to her. I should never say something to myself
Right.
that I wouldn't say to her, and when I made that mindset shift, we talk about body positivity, but the reality is what we really need is body neutrality. We need to give ourselves, like you had said in the break, we need to give ourselves grace, allow ourselves to be in the body that we are in and do what we want in spite of that. We might not always be the most comfortable, but be okay with it and just, find that neutrality with the way that you look. And then it's easier.
What were you talking about? Our dogs, like comparing.
Oh,
we
I was
would
talking
never
about,
expect our golden retriever to look
We don't
like
have
our,
a golden
or whatever
retriever.
she is. The mutt. I don't know. She's a black lab and a
border collie.
Okay. A border
Sweet
collie
Pete.
Mix. Yeah.
mix.
Right.
We would never tell her that she needs to do everything she can to look like our 12-pound Alaskan Cleat guy.
Right,
Right.
yes.
So what was
They
is
live
this-
in the same-
I
it was
think
the
this is the sign
comparison.
of the same thing we're
Yeah,
talking
they
about.
live in the same house. These dogs live in the same house. And
They-
you never look at your animals and you're like, well, why don't you look like that? Because they're not the same
Right.
dog.
Yes,
They're different. And
yes.
even our cats are sisters, true sisters. And they're very different, and they look exactly the same, but Lucy is just a smaller animal. Her head is just tiny.
Yes.
And Lucy and Molly's a little bit bigger. And
Right.
we don't tell
Yeah.
our dogs and cats, like, what's wrong with you?
Why don't you
can't
look like a German Shepherd? Because I'm not one.
Yes.
Right. I
Yeah.
know. So,
We're all different.
Right.
Yeah.
We all look different.
It's a
We're all
mindset.
born different. We all have different genes. We all
Right.
have different metabolisms.
Yes.
We're like,
we
you
all
know,
had different childhoods that framed the way we look at food and how we talk
Right.
about to
Oh,
ourselves.
and like our
yeah.
culture, just our culture in general is
Mhm.
food centric. Like,
Yeah.
try to and be an adult with kids and like, hey, let's you send a group text, hey, can we get together for just get together, and
Yeah.
it's always like, well, what, are we gonna go eat? Are
Yeah.
we gonna go for drinks?
Yeah, our
You know,
kids
like-
will
like-
literally not get into the car with us unless food is happening at some point. Like, they will not go anywhere with
they'll
us.
look where we
Right.
are.
Yeah.
Are you guys? Yeah. They've kind of gotten a little better about it.
Well, that's because Katie can just DoorDash whatever.
Yeah,
she
our
wants.
daughter's now, she just gets whatever she wants. She's not relying on
She
us
has her own food
to
money.
get her food. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's just funny how, like, and my uncle, remember when we had a family reunion, he was talking about, like, we're always thinking about what are we going to eat next?
Yeah.
Right.
On
What's
vacation,
for breakfast?
especially
On
when
vacation.
you're with family, like
what's
you
for
said.
breakfast?
Yeah.
Then what's for
Oh,
lunch?
and vacation,
What's
like
dinner?
I'm still can't eat a lot of things.
Right.
And I'm like, if we're gonna go somewhere, well, what are we gonna eat? Because
Yeah.
I want to eat something from the place we're going. Like,
Right.
if we're going to Kansas City, I want to eat Kansas City food. I don't want to eat
Yeah.
the same stuff I could eat in Lincoln.
Yeah.
So I'll be at breakfast. What are we having for supper?
Right.
tonight?
Yeah.
Still, I
That's
can't
what we
eat all
do.
that stuff.
Right. Yeah.
I still do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the world we're navigating in right
Yeah,
now. And
yeah.
you can still enjoy that stuff.
Yeah.
You have a built-in portion controller
yeah.
now
Yeah,
that
big time.
a lot of us
We
don't
do.
Big
have.
time. Yeah.
And I know so Nicole and I, we like to eat.
Mhm.
Like, we could also probably do a show called Food Fanatics.
Yeah.
So we're fitness fanatics, and we like to work out, and we love to have our free day.
Mhm.
We love to have our pizza and our ice cream, and when somebody starts Farrell's and we're like, hey, you can't eat anything bad for 10 weeks.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Chances are we're just setting them up for failure.
Yep.
Right.
Because when that
That's not
snowball starts to just roll down the hill, there it goes. So
Well, it's that mental game bit. Like, you make one poor choice, begets another poor choice, begets another poor choice. Like, if you're wired that way, it's just gonna do that.
Yep.
That's true. All right. Well, we're up on our last break here. We'll be back. I'm not sure where we're going to go. Maybe I know when anybody comes into the sports station, they want to talk a little Husker sports. So maybe we'll dive into that a little bit.
We all have a
with Mike
sunburn
here.
from the spring game yesterday.
Jeff
Yeah,
does,
so
and he
does
wore a
Nicole.
hat.
Yeah, I was
didn't.
smart, wore a hat. No sunburn from the spring game. So maybe we'll talk a little Husker football with Mike here coming up. You can reach us 402-464-5685. Fitness Fanatics coming back at you here in a few minutes.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday. You lost Wednesday. You're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Are you sick of mindlessly running on a treadmill or the lack of motivation to consistently work out? Whatever your challenge, Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping can help. Whether you want to lose weight, boost energy, or simply improve your overall health, you'll fit right in at Farrell's regardless of age or abilities. Build endurance with their kickboxing and strength training group fitness classes while also getting nutrition coaching. Try Farrell's now for a free week. Visit fxblincoln.com or call Jeff at 402-310-4026. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping.
James Enterprise Incorporated, that company that hauls your gravel, rocks, and material for your farm or construction site, says thank you to the people of the healthcare community for putting yourself in the way of danger to save the public. That is what it means to be a hero and to build a beautiful legacy. This message brought to you by James Enterprise Incorporated. For all your hauling of rock, gravel, and materials, call them at 402-432-6740. That's 402-432-6740. Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
There's not many things worse than having plumbing issues at your home or business, but it's even worse if the problem isn't fixed correctly. Select Plumbing gets it right the first time, and they specialize in several things: general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. Plus, they're hiring service plumbers. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Allo knows businesses need reliable communication, both at the office and at home. Now more than ever. Just listen to Bill Mitchner from Lighthouse.
Before we'd have breaks in service, especially for internet, but we've never had any issues with Allo. It's always been there and available when we needed it.
At Allo, supporting your business is our business. To get your free quote and switch today, visit allofiber.com/workfast or call 402-480-6685 today.
This is Dan Friedman. Between 2010 and 2019, distracted driving caused more than 40,000 car crashes in Nebraska, resulting in over 14,000 severe injuries and deaths. Please keep your eyes on the road. If you have a smartphone, put it away while you're behind the wheel. It will help keep our community safe and secure. This message is brought to you by Friedman Law Offices, helping injured people. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at friedmanlaw.com today.
Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
45-minute walk.
All right, we are back here, our last segment of show number 2.
Flying by.
If you missed anything, missed any part of the show, you can reach us. You can go back and listen to us on the podcast. I always like to say stream, but that's what's happening right now.
Yes.
On the podcast, check us out: iTunes, Spotify, Apple.
What else?
I don't know. We have Apple Podcasts.
You're not. I know. I'm just kidding.
What's that?
Stitcher.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, I know.
I've never heard of that until Mark sent that to me.
Yeah.
Stitcher. Yeah. So all the podcasting sites we're on. So you can go subscribe,
and the website.
Leave us a good comment. Yeah. On the Ticket website too. We have our own little page under the Ticket Weeknights tab there as well. So we're going to finish up with Mike Price here from our Yankee Ridge location. One thing he wanted to talk about was, everybody's excited starting a 10-week challenge, which is where we're getting ready to on Monday. So we'll have lots of stories next week. There is no show next week because of Easter. So we'll be back here on the 24th. So we'll have 2 weeks worth of exciting tales to tell you from Mark's journey. But Mike wanted to talk about getting done with the 10 weeks, and then you move into what we call a fit member, which is after the 10-week challenge is over. Yeah. Now it's like, okay, now I'm working out on my own. I'm not in a challenge. So go ahead and touch on that, and then we'll talk a little Husker football.
Okay. Yeah. I know to kind of bookend the show, I guess, talking to Mark about him starting and those feelings. And I was listening to that on my way in, and I remember having those same sort of anxieties about, being the fat guy in the room, or, where am I at on the spectrum and all that stuff. And coming out of the 10 weeks, we talked about the number on the scale not changing that much, but I am a stronger person. I can move more fluidly. I feel better in my skin. And none of that stuff can be marked down on a body mass index or any of that stuff. Like, that's just physically, I know that I can do the workouts. I'm not afraid of any workouts that are thrown my way. Now, granted, I haven't done like the snake or whatever that one was.
I put you through one there for upper body class.
It was good.
Doing some sprints.
Man, I loved it though. I actually loved it.
Yeah. And just think, could you have done that 13 weeks ago?
I could not have. I would have fallen out. Yes. And so it's the confidence, the physical confidence of knowing I can do anything they throw at me. I might be sore and I might be hurt, but that's what we're here
you
for.
can do it. Right.
Like in that mindset too, of like we're here to work out.
That is what I say all the time. Well, to your buddy John.
Yeah.
When he's trying to slack off, I'm like, this is why we're here.
Well, and
we're here to sweat. We're here to sweat.
A really cool thing you'll get experience tomorrow. Now, tomorrow will be day 1 of the spring challenge.
Yeah.
So 2 things that you'll notice is one, you're going to be like,
we're moving
thinking
slow.
back to your day 1, how hard it was.
Right.
And then you're going to be like, wow, I used to think that was hard.
Yeah.
Like,
But it will still be hard.
Yeah, it's going to be a hard workout.
Because you have
You can
better
push-
form now.
Yes, you
You'll
can
be able
push
to push yourself.
Well, that's the
instead-
part
yeah.
too. Like,
Yeah.
It is so individual. Like,
Yes.
there, and you guys were talking about ebbs and flows in your hormones and your feelings
Yeah.
and how you're. That happens in your 10 weeks. It happens every day,
Yeah.
no matter what
Yeah.
you're doing. You
Yep.
have days at work where
Seasons change.
you're more
That's the
clued in
worst.
than others. So
Yeah.
you get out of it what you put into it. So I'm excited to get
You'll
after
get
it
to
and-
see it. We have a couple newbies at
Yeah,
4
we have
a.m.
new 4 a.m.ers tomorrow. So
We do?
now you're going to be an example.
How about it?
Yes.
Like,
Yep.
so now,
I'm all for that.
now even though you're not a coach or an instructor,
Right.
now you're now a fit member.
Right.
The cool thing about Farrell's is now when we have new people come in,
Right.
you can help inspire them
just
Right.
by being there.
Right.
just by being there, working hard, and they're going to be like, wow, if he can do it, I can do it.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
So any
Absolutely.
last thoughts on Farrell's before we get into a little spring game talk?
I've got nothing.
You got
I
okay.
have one thing to say.
Oh, sure.
So we were going to start our clean slate segment where we talk about our confessions.
Confessions,
So
yes.
I put something out there, but it's kind of late, but I'm going to tell my confession really, really fast. So my clean slate, my confession
Do I know you
for
did
the
this?
week. Yeah, you were there.
Oh.
So yesterday we
this is
went
maybe
to
our
the
confession.
spring. No, we went to
Oh.
the spring game and I had not eaten enough. And then after the spring game, we went to go with Raph and AD, and I was overserved some vodkas and cranberries.
What?
Then we had to go to a get together, and I gave them fair warning. You're getting a different version of me than you're used to in the gym. And then, so I mean, I barely ate anything, and I drank a lot of alcohol, and I'm super dehydrated today, and so I'm drinking my water,
lot of
and
water.
I'm back on track. Like it happens to everybody.
happen.
So
Yeah,
I
it
just
was
thought
a-
I'd kick it off. I'll be the
AD was
first.
buying,
He
and we're
was.
drinking,
How about
right?
it?
I even tried to say no once, and then it just kept
I
happening.
think he drank my drink.
I need to
too.
get invited
did.
to that party, I think.
did.
Yeah.
No, it was
I
fun.
just happened to text him. Was like, "Where are you at?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, we're at Jake's."
It
So
was
then we went
just
down
one
there.
of those perfect storms. I hadn't
Right.
barely eaten anything,
Yeah.
and it just hit me.
Because
really
orientation, we were just busy, and then as soon as we got home, we had to leave and head
What
to the spring
happened?
game. So, Mike, you were at the spring game. I don't know
Yeah.
about you, but when our punter boomed a 63-yard
Yeah.
punt, the crowd erupted
Yeah.
like we were celebrating a Big Ten
Yeah,
championship.
it's almost like when Scott Frost's first spring game, I think they ran the option out of the I formation and
yeah.
everybody went crazy. The same kind of thing, and I'm thinking, how bad does it have to be if we're cheering a 60-yard punt in the spring game? Like it's been pretty rough around here in
Yes.
special teams for sure.
It did not get better from there,
No, it
unfortunately,
didn't.
or it
It-
didn't even sustain the excitement.
No, it didn't. I
unfortunately.
do think that first half where they were just tagging off and not tackling really harmed the momentum of things. Yeah, the ability to call plays. I mean, we were calling inside run and they get two-hand
Yeah.
touchdown. Like, what's the point of that?
Yeah. I mean,
And
yeah,
I-
probably, he
and
could
I
have
think-
had he probably could have had a couple touchdowns if
well,
there was live
you never
tackling. He
know.
would have
It-
busted through there.
He was trying to run hard.
I know he was.
Nick's gonna bring out the hook here.
Oh, I know. So we got about 30 seconds left. We're going to
Yeah.
wrap it up.
No.
If you are interested in joining the 10-week challenge, there's still time. You can go to our website, fxblincoln.com. You can reach out to us directly, 402-310-4026. We're
Do
kicking
it.
things off tomorrow morning. Mark Onweiler, first kickboxing class. No Fitness Fanatics next Sunday. So for on your Easter. So enjoy, and we'll see you back here in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Have a great week.
Bye.
Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario? Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what?